It couldn't get any weirder. Take a look at this mini-myth. Mini-myth number 245, the molasses disaster. On January 15, 1919, in a North End neighborhood of Boston, Massachusetts, a tank containing 2.3 million gallons of molasses bursts open. A 15-foot wave of the sticky liquid pours through the streets at about 35 miles per hour. It kills 21 and injures 150 others. Could that have happened? Find out the answer when Urban Legends returns. You are in the land of urban legends. Just before the break, we told you about a wave of molasses that killed 21 and injured 150 others in Boston in 1919. Is it to be believed? Yes, it's true. The Boston molasses disaster of 1919 is a well-documented historical fact. It was caused by a combination of unseasonably warm weather and a faulty tank. The sticky mess took 6 months to clean up. Locals claim they can still smell the molasses today. In the meantime, consider this mini-myth. Mini-myth number 86, the attack goat. 77-year-old Carl Halsey from Canton, Georgia, couldn't afford to buy a dog to guard his property, so he decided to train his pet goat Snowball to do the job instead. Halsey taunted Snowball and beat him to teach the goat to be mean and attack intruders. But one day Snowball got his revenge. When his owner approached with a stick, he butted the man over the edge of a porch, killing him instantly. Did Snowball really kill his owner Carl by butting him off a porch? You'll find out when Urban Legends returns. Welcome back to the world of urban legends. Before the break, we told you about the killer goat Snowball getting revenge on his owner for beating him. True story? Or are you just the butt of a good joke? Actually, it did happen. It was no joke, especially for Carl. Snowball was saved from a death sentence. An animal rights group pleaded on his behalf, and Snowball now lives on a goat sanctuary. Mini-myth number 63, the Pooch Paint Puddle Puzzle. A fresh coat of paint was being applied to the living room of a mansion in the Hamptons when a can of paint was accidentally knocked over onto an expensive antique Chinese rug. It was bad timing as the mistress of the house was about to inspect the work in progress. Fearing being fired from the job and being slapped with a lawsuit, the painter had to think fast. The owner's yappy little dog came into the room first. He quickly picked him up and threw him in the paint puddle, shouting, "Bad dog, look what you've done." The owner enters the room and right away blames the dog for the mishap and not the painter. Did this happen? Was this Pooch in a paint story true or false? Find out when Urban Legends returns. Welcome back to Urban Legends. Before the break, we told you the story of how the painter covered up his accidental paint spillage by blaming the owner's little dog. True? It's false. Stories about blaming mishaps on animals, especially spilled paint, have been around since the 1920s. While you think about that, try to solve this mini-myth. Mini-myth number 417, trouble at the toilet. Wendy Pitcher poured a bottle of cheap perfume into the toilet. The stuff was 97% pure alcohol. Not long after, her husband Gavin flicked his lit cigarette butt into the bowl. The highly flammable liquid exploded under him. When the paramedics arrived, Gavin explained what had happened, and they laughed so hard they dropped him off the stretcher, breaking his collarbone. So, is this toilet tale true or false? Find out when Urban Legends continues. Welcome back to Urban Legends. Before the break, we told you about the exploding toilet. Did a lit cigarette cause an explosion when it touched cheap, highly flammable perfume? No, it's false. A variation of this tale came to light in 1953, and it keeps being reported as truth as recently as 2004.